Namaste. Welcome to your practice. In today's Mindful Vinyasa class, we are going to work with the principle of fluidity. Being fluid, being able to move easily or to change ourselves as we need to in order to go with the flow of what's happening both in our bodies, on our mats, and in our lives. This is something that we can cultivate and call forth from within ourselves. So we'll begin in any comfortable position for our seated meditation. I'd like to encourage you today to take a moment or two to close your eyes and feel inside. No matter how stiff or rusty we feel, we are fluid creatures. We have within us liquid in the form of our blood, our lymph. We need to drink a lot of water because water is what's within us, what keeps us moving. Take a moment or two here to lean a little bit side to side or sway a little bit side to side and feel that you have within you this fluidity. Maybe today you feel a little more fluid or a little less fluid than sometimes. But you're able to move easily because we have within us this liquid principle, this liquid element, fluid in our joints, fluid in our muscles, fluid moving, lubricating our whole body. Another moment or two here to feel into your body, whether you're moving or you've settled back into stillness. See if you can allow your belly to be a little soft. And feel that your spine rises toward the sky in a naturally fluid motion itself. So it's not stiff and rigid, but it's lifting up, undulating, curving toward the ceiling, toward the sun. Now, as you breathe, you might notice that the breath is fluid too. Notice how easily the breath moves through the body. And then if you like, you might consider where in your life you feel like you are able to be fluid, where things flow easily. Perhaps in relationship with your friends or loved ones or animals. Perhaps with your work or with your yoga practice or meditation. Or perhaps you can think of an area where you feel a little less fluid, a little more stuck. Envision for yourself what it would be like to be a little more fluid there, what that would mean for you in your life. And as you prepare to set your intention now, perhaps you can invite this idea of fluidity to be part of that process. Give yourself permission today to be as fluid as you are, in whatever sense you want to interpret that. It's normal that we get a little stuck sometimes. It's normal that we have these blockages in our lives and our bodies. And we work with them and we work around them until they clear. As you begin to set your intention, if you'd like, the hands might come to the space of the heart, pressing palm to palm gently. And we'll just take a few breaths right here. And if your eyes have been closed, you can blink them open. Let's invite a little movement now. Let's bring a little fluidity with the body. Take the arms wide out to the sides. Let the palms meet overhead and slide them down through heart center. We'll do that 2 more times. Arms go wide, palms meet, and hands glide through the heart. 1 more time like that. Lifting, coming together, and gliding down. Now we'll play a little bit with that. Take the arms up, bring the hands together, and as the palms come together in front of you, we'll make a little change here. Keep your thumb and first finger together and spread the palms away from one another toward me. Now bring the backs of the hands together. Point the fingers down. Bring the fingers toward you. Palms turn outward. Maybe the fingers are a little interlaced, and then we spread the hands apart. We'll do that again a little more quickly. Arms up, hands through the heart. Bring the backs of the hands together, thumb and first fingers stay together, palms come down, fingers interlace, and palms spread out. You can think of it, keep going. You can think of it, if you like, as a blossoming, as an opening, as a gesture of fluidity. And if it doesn't look quite like what I'm doing, that's great. Make it your own. So we can invite this into our practice today if you like, or you can just go with hands through the heart. Let's do 1 more time like this. Arms lift up overhead. Glide the hands through the heart. Turn the backs of the hands toward one another. Maybe the fingers interlace and the palms turn out and down. Great. Let's make our way to hands and knees from here. Add any support you need to underneath your knees, and then we'll work with a little movement of the spine. Think about moving the spine from the tailbone to the crown of the head. Begin by dipping the belly downward. Then the chest moves forward. Then the gaze comes up. From the tailbone, tuck under and lift the belly toward the ceiling. Round your middle back, upper back, and take the gaze toward the knees. Keep going on your own now. So you understand the mechanics of it. Now we begin to play a little bit with this element of fluidity. Where does your spine flow easily? Where does it feel a little more stuck? Feel free to stay with cat and cow, or now you might start to move the hips in a big circle, finding some fluidity there. We've got nothing to prove in our practice today. This is just an opportunity to move in ways that feel fluid to us, or to explore where we want to feel more fluid. Take your circles in the other direction. And then let your circles get a little slower and smaller until you find yourself rocking back to a stop. Let's take the knees slightly wider. Drop your hips back towards your heels for a child's pose. If you like here, you might add some support. If you need something to rest your head on, a block or a blanket, or if you like a blanket or something between your hips and your heels, you can add that for yourself. Take a few breaths here and see if you can notice what the body feels like in this shape. Feel where air fills you. And if there's a part where it's difficult to bring your awareness to, or you feel like there's not much air reaching or much energy moving, and let's come all the way back up to hands and knees. Lift your left arm up toward the sky. Doesn't matter how much it reaches up. And then hand comes down to the floor. Right arm reaches up. Chest can turn. Maybe you look up a little bit. Hand comes down. Let's continue in that way. Left arm up. Left arm down. Only go as far as feels easy for you. Right arm up. And right arm down. We'll do one more time like this each way. Left arm up. And left arm down. Right arm up. Right arm down. Now we'll thread the needle. Left arm up. Dive under with your left arm. Roll to the outer edge of your left shoulder. And then make a choice with the right arm. Does it want to reach forward? Stretching the fingertips toward the front of the mat. Does it feel better to keep the hand by your shoulder? Or would you like to tuck your right arm around your lower back? Take 3 breaths here. And then unwind, come all the way back to hands and knees. Before the second side, cat and cow. Let yourself move, let yourself find a shape that feels good to you. You may find that as you start to warm up a little bit more, the body feels more fluid. The next time that you come back through neutral, stretch the right arm up to the ceiling. Dive under, right shoulder to the mat. Of course, if you need a little support under your head or shoulder with a blanket or a block, you add that for yourself. Now, as we start to dive a little deeper into our practice, we may find some parts where we feel a little bit more stuck. You may find parts where you feel, oh, that's starting to wake up and move a little better. Be curious, be interested, and be kind. Walk your left hand back. Bring your right hand down. And let's move into our first downward facing dog. Tuck the toes, slide the hips up and back. And then find your comfortable position. Where do your feet want to be today? Where feels good for your hands? Let's pedal out the legs a few times. Is there any fluidity we can invite through the legs? Now let's walk hands back toward the feet. Step the feet a little wider apart and let the arms hang toward or onto the floor and sway side to side a few times. You might let the movements get a little bigger. Swaying gets bigger side to side. And if it feels okay for your body, begin to sway up to a standing position, or you can hinge your way up. When you arrive at the top, pause here at the back of the mat. Feel the feet, feel your arms, and feel the breath. Let's take a walk to the front of the mat. When you arrive at the front, arms sweep wide. Slide the hands through the heart, and then your choice, if you like, backs of the hands together, and we blossom the palms open. Reach wide. Hands slide down. One more like that. Arms lift. Hands glide down and open. Now we move. Arms lift. Hands through the heart. Bow forward. Lift through the chest. And step your right foot back. Bring your right knee down to the floor. Stretch the arms as you reach forward and up with the chest.
And then bow down as you begin to straighten through the left leg. We'll do that a few times. Sweeping as you reach up. And straightening the leg as you sweep back. 3 more, up and down. The next time that we reach up, we'll call that one the last for now. Bring your right hand down to the floor or a block. Stretch your left arm up to the sky. Shoulder blades draw away from your ears. Turn your chest. And then, if it feels okay in your body, turn your left toes a little bit to the left and let your outer right hip drop a little bit more toward the floor. So now we're getting a little bit more of a stretch for the back of the hip, maybe. It's a little more fluid. Bring the top hand up and over. Hand drops down. Bring your left knee back to the right, child's pose. From child's pose, round forward into a cat position, and then drop the belly, move into cow. From cow pose, tuck your toes, lift your hips, slide back into downward facing dog. In your downward facing dog, bend one knee and then another. Or shake your tail a little bit from side to side. See if there's any movement in the hips. It starts to feel natural. You have natural rhythm starting to arise for yourself. Sweep your right leg up to the sky. Step your right foot forward. Land your left knee to the floor. Arms come up, lift tall. And then straighten your right leg as the arms sweep back. Let's go for 4 more of those. Up as the knee bends. Back with the arms as the knee straightens. It doesn't need to look perfect. It doesn't need to feel like it's trying to accomplish anything except looking for a little more fluidity and ease in your body. Where can we find that? Next time that the arms reach up, we'll be done with this. Left hand glides down to the floor or up block. And then reach the right arm up to the sky. And if it feels okay, turn the right toes to the right and drop a little to the outer left hip. Stretching through the side body, maybe through the back right hip a little bit more. Right hand sweeps down toward the floor. Step your left foot forward to meet the right and bow. For a moment here, step the feet wider and we'll sway again. Not in any hurry, the movement's happening. And then all the way back to your standing position. At the very top, arms reach tall. Bring the hands back through heart center. Open, blossom the palms. And arms by the side. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Let's change it a little bit. Arms lift overhead. As the hands slide through the heart, we can do that same movement with our palms. Then bow over the legs if you're spilling forward. Fingers to the shins, chest lifts. Palms or fingertips down. Step your left foot back. And this time it'll be a high lunge as you lift up through the arms. Lift up through the belly. Maybe the spine finds itself moving a little more into a back bend. Then straighten the leg a bit as you sweep the arms back. Bend the leg more as the arms come up. And we'll play right there. Now because of the back heel being lifted, it's a little bit less stable. So you can find what works for you here. Let's do one more. And then left hand down to the floor or a block. Right arm stretches up. You might feel good to stay right here. Or right toes turn to the right. The right knee points out over the second toe of the right foot. Roll to the outer edge of your left foot. Let the left hip dip toward the earth as you stretch back through the right arm. Breathe here. We want to be pain-free. And then right arm comes up and over, fingertips down to the floor. Step right back, downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, little bend in the knees. Lift your tailbone toward the sky, and then tuck your hips under and round your lower back, middle back, and upper back as you come forward to a rounded plank. Let the thighs drop toward the floor, then the belly, then the chest lifts as we move into an upward facing dog with the toes tucked under. Change this to suit your body in whatever way you need to. Then from the crown of the head, we reverse, tuck the chin, round the upper back, middle back, and lower back as you glide the hips back into your down dog. Downward facing dog, let's lift left leg up into the air and left foot forward. Left arm stretches up for the twist, and then roll to the outer edge of your left foot, roll to the outer edge of your right foot. Make a little space where you need to and take a few breaths right here. Left arm comes up and over, high lunge from here, all the way up, front knee bent. Back knee a little bit bent, or whatever feels right to you. And then as you straighten the front leg, sweep the arms back. And bend the front knee to reach the arms up. So we're just undulating through these cycles, feeling where there's fluidity in the body, and feeling where we get that edge. And if you find your edge, if you feel like, whoa, that's a little uncertain, that's a part where I don't move so well, then we've started to find a place to work. Next time that your arms reach overhead, let's pause right here. Slide your hands through the center of the heart. We'll step forward, keep the palms together, and then bring the backs of the hands together, interlace the fingers, and sweep them down by the sides. Arms come up again right away. Hands through the heart. Bring the backs of the hands together, open the palms. Now one more time, up, hands glide down. Backs of the hands together, bow forward this time. Fingers to the shins, look forward. Right foot back. Right hand down. Turn the left toes to the left. Roll the hips open as you reach back with the left arm this time. Then press into the right hand, come up. Turn both sets of feet to the right and bend into your right knee for Skandasana. It doesn't matter how low you go. Then we'll change up into Warrior Two, facing the front of the mat. Drop your right arm down your back leg, switch your left arm up to the sky, and side angle pose. Left arm drops down, right arm up over the ear. Dancing Warrior 2 more times. Right arm down, left arm up. Left elbow toward the left knee, or maybe it crosses in front of the body. One more time, Exalted Warrior. Side angle pose. Back to Warrior 2. Now straighten your left leg, bend into the right knee, we'll come back into Skandasana. From Skandasana, pause, take 3 breaths where you are. You could be low, I'm showing a lower variation, or you could be up higher. It doesn't matter, the right knee is bent, the left leg is straight, and everything else is a matter of personal choice. Then, from your Skandasana, press into the right foot. Open the arms to the side, spin the right arm back down to the floor. We're back where we started in the twist. Roll to the outer edge of the right foot. Left foot moves to the left a little bit to accommodate that. Then, left hand down. Left leg up and back, 3-legged dog. Bring your left toes to the floor, downward facing dog, put a little bend in the knees. Tuck the tailbone under. Round forward into your rounded plank. Lower thighs, belly. You may need to tuck the tailbone under and lift through the belly a bit here to support the lower back. And back through, tuck the chin, round the upper back, middle back, and lower back as you lift the hips and glide into downward facing dog. take 3 breaths here. See if you can find a natural pulse in your body. Now, right leg up. Bring the right knee forward as though to touch the knee toward the nose. It doesn't need to touch, it just moves in that direction. Sweep it up and back. Turn the hip and open toward the sky so the hips turn to the right, and then right knee under. One more time, right leg up and back. The pelvis turns to the right knee is bent. This time as the right knee comes under, we step right foot forward, rise up into crescent lunge. Open the arms out to the sides if you have the space. Otherwise, make a cactus shape or whatever you need to do. Lift through the chest. And as you inhale, straighten both legs just a little. And then as you exhale, bend the knees just a little. Like that. Inhaling, feel a little lift as you straighten the legs a bit. Exhale, you drop in. Let's try 3 more. Feeling the pulse of the breath and the body together. 1 more. Arms lift overhead. Glide the hands through the heart. Step your left foot forward to meet the right. Bring the backs of the hands together, interlace the fingers, and sweep arms down by the sides. Arms stretch up. Hands through the heart. Backs of the hands toward one another, interlace the fingers. Bloom the hands, spread them wide. 1 more time, and this time we'll fold forward. As the hands come through the heart, bring the backs of the hands together, interlace, and dive. Cascade yourself forward. Inhale, lift through the chest, feel how the spine lengthens. And then fingertips down, left foot back. Left hand to a block or the floor, turn the right toes to the right. Spin the hips to the right as you stretch back through the right fingertips. Let the left side body drape toward the floor a little bit more. 2 breaths. And then press into the left hand, spin the right arm up and over. Bend into the left knee as you move yourself over to the long edge of the mat. Left knee is bent, right leg is straight, skandasana. 1 breath here. And then rise up, press into the left foot and open through to warrior 2, facing the front of the mat once more. Dancing warrior, back arm drops down the back leg, right arm reaches and into your side angle. Either elbow to knee or fingertips drop down or cross the arm over the body. 2 more times. Find your own grace, find your own ease of movement. You have it within you. 1 more time. Passing into side angle pose, and then back through to warrior 2. And from warrior 2, straighten the leg, bend to the side into skandasana. 1 more time, hold here. Again, I don't care whether you're low or high. You could have your toes up or facing toward the long edge of the mat. It really doesn't matter. This is for you. Press into your left foot. Rise back up. Drop the left hand down to the floor or a block or back in that twist. Right arm up or it reaches back. You play. And then right hand down. Right leg up and back. 3-legged dog. 3-legged dog. Drop the foot toward the floor. This time, land the knees to the floor. Hips slide back toward child's pose. Reach through the fingertips in front of you. Walk both hands over to the right and take a few breaths into the left side of the body. Walk both hands over to the left and take a few breaths into the right side of your body. Bring both hands forward once more. Round forward into your rounded cat shape, and then drop the belly, coming into your cow shape. Tuck the toes from here, slide the hips back, downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, please lift your left leg into the air. Bend the left knee, open the hips to the left. Then left knee comes under you. Round forward a little, bring the left knee toward the nose and back. We'll do 2 more of those, and on the 3rd time we step forward. Left knee forward and back. Last time, left knee forward, step forward. High lunge, settle into your comfortable shape. Begin with the arms overhead and then drop the arms out to the side, maybe palms up. Let's pulse with the breath again. Straighten the legs as you inhale. Exhale. Settle in again. Keep going. Last 2. So it could be a small movement or a big movement, it's up to you. Circle your arms overhead once more. Bring the hands through heart center. Step forward. Backs of the hands together. Interlace the fingers. Spread them wide. Pause for a moment here. Feel the feet pressing into the floor. Feel the arms by the sides. And then let's shake out a little bit. Shake the knees, shake the legs a little bit. Shake the arms a little bit. If it feels good to shake or turn the head a little bit, we can add that. Do you want to let the shoulders jump up and down? You can do that. And then let the movement come back into stillness. Bring a hand to the heart. Bring another hand to the belly. You might feel the pulse of your blood. You might feel the breath. Your natural ease, your natural rhythm, your natural state of fluidity resides within you. It is your birthright. You have this. It is you. We're just exploring and playing. The hands released by the sides. I'm going to show you something that you may or may not want to do. So if you don't want to do this, then you will just step back through a more traditional vinyasa. But watch and see what you think. From our standing position, we'll take the feet a little wider, drop back into a squat. Now this won't work for everybody, and you may not want to do it at all. If it feels okay from here, you rock back, keep the knees in tight, and rock back up. So, if you want to play with me with that, we'll do that. If you would rather not do that, you're just going to wait a moment, and then the next thing you'll be able to do something with us. So see how that works. You may find it's difficult to come forward again. You'll just help yourself. Remember, we're being playful, so let's give it a try. Drop down into your squat. Now, as you roll back, you can use your hands to help you. That's okay. Keep the chin tucked, roll back. Now, as you come up, if you get a little stuck, use your hands and come all the way back up. Want to try one more time? Here we go. Drop down. Hips go back, tuck the chin, roll up, and stand. Now, if you sat that out, good for you. If you did it with me, good for you. If you want to see what comes next, there's a vinyasa that we make out of this. It looks like this. Bend the knees, squat down again, roll back. Roll up, hands plant, and you can step or jump back. Then, maybe up dog or cobra and downward facing dog. If you don't want to do that, you know how to do a regular vinyasa, and you can pick what you'd like to do. So instead, you would just fold forward, look forward, and move back. All right? It doesn't need to be perfect. If it feels okay, then you can go for it, even if it doesn't feel like you're doing it exactly right, or you feel like you're getting a little stuck. If it's a new movement, it's going to be challenging. But we're being playful. We're finding our own fluidity where we are today. Let's go. Arms reach overhead first. Bring the hands to your heart center. Backs of the hands together, fold forward. Look forward. Now you could step back from here or drop into your squat, roll. Up, hands down, step back, and lower. Downward facing dog when you're ready. From downward facing dog, lift up to your tiptoes, bend your knees, move back to the front of the mat. At the front of the mat, take the feet a little wider and let's all drop into whatever squat feels right for you. So that might be a little lower today, or you might be a little bit higher. If it's just you with your knees bent a little bit, that's great. Take 3 breaths where you are. If you were doing that rolling, feel your heartbeat. One more breath. And then squeeze into the back of the hip. Come all the way up to stand. Arms reach. Hands to the heart. Backs of the hands together. And open. Let's do that with just the arms. Arms up. You can rearrange your feet if you need to. Hands to the heart. Backs of the hands together and palms go wide and up. Last time. Hands to the heart. Interlace, spread wide. Lift up and slide just the hands to the heart. Pause, breathe, and feel. Moving a little more, arms wide. Palms touch and slide down. Bring the hands through and dive forward. Fingers to the shins, chest lifts. And then hands down, step back, downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, lift your right leg into the air. Bend the right knee, turn the hips a little bit to the right. And step your right foot forward to the front of the mat. Let's find warrior one, arms lift overhead. Warrior one, find a stable position for your legs. And then taking the arms wide, let's bring them across the body. Tuck the chin and roll yourself forward into a tight ball. Keeping that tight ball, do a little twist to your left. Do a little side bend to the left and then a little back bend. Hips stay steady. Now a little side bend to your right. That'll be a little more challenging. Tuck the chin and roll forward back into the flexed position. Let's try the other way. From that rounded position, twist to the right. Side bend on the right. Find a little bit of a back bend. A little side bend to the left, and then flex forward. Take the arms wide, lift the arms up. Maybe a little back bend here, only what feels right to you. And then maybe we start to find a little side bend to the right, a little side bend to the left. Maybe you round forward a little here. Maybe you back bend. Keeping the stability of the legs, move your spine around. You can move the arms in different ways if you like. Your body will tell you when it feels unsafe or uncertain. And that's when you back off. If there's any pain, we say, oh, that's not quite right. I'm encouraging you to find whatever level of fluidity your spine will allow for here. When you've had enough play, stretch the arms back up toward the sky, and then fingertips down to the floor. Bring your right foot back to the left, and pause for a moment in downward facing dog in this really stable position. Breathe in and out. Left leg up, turn the left hips, step your left foot forward, and warrior one. As always, we're paying attention to the sensations that are present. So I don't want these to be big movements. I want them to be your movements. I want you to find where your spine will let you move here, where your mind will let you move. And it doesn't matter if it's not far. We're just mapping out where our edges are. We're finding our own fluidity. Cross your arms in front of the chest again. Put the opposite arm on top this time, if you remember. And then tuck the chin and round forward here. So it's like you're trying to curl yourself up into a ball on top of your warrior. Then do a little twist to the right, a little side bend to the right, a little back bend, only as much as feels good for you. A little twist to the left, a little side bend to the left, and tucking forward into that ball. Now twisting left, side bending left, back bending to your easy level. Twist to the right, side bend to the right, round forward again. Release the arms, stretch them up, and then start to find your exploratory movement here. Where can you safely and comfortably move your upper body on top of your warrior one? So often we're used to thinking about warrior one as a pose that we come into and there's one right way to do it. But the truth is that we can vary our movement on top of our warrior one. We can find side bends, we could find twists, we could find back bend, we could find forward flexion, whatever isn't painful to us, whatever makes sense. When you're done exploring here, lift the arms up to the sky. Bring both hands back down to the floor. And this time we'll step forward to the front of the mat. Bring fingers to shins again. And fold forward here. Bend your knees, step the feet a little wider apart. Either clasp your opposite elbows or interlace your hands behind your head. Give a little cradle for the back of the skull, as long as that doesn't feel like undue pressure or uncomfortable pressure. Or interlace your hands behind your back. And we'll take a few breaths here. Maybe a little sway side to side. Slowly begin to roll your way up. Come all the way up to the top. And then pause for a moment here and we'll just breathe as we are. Sweep the arms wide. Bring the hands to the heart. Backs of the hands, fingers interlace, and bow. Lift the chest, plant the hands, step back to down dog or child's pose, whatever feels soothing or right for you. And then make your way to a seat with your right leg crossed in front of your left. Lift the arms and twist to the right. Lift the arms, left arm out to the left and side bend to the left. Up, twist right. Up, side bend left. One more time through, up, twist, up, side bend. Now up and forward fold. Rearrange your legs if you need to for more or less sensation. And then if it feels right, if it feels good, to undulate your spine, to move your spine here. Or just to let your head glide a little from side to side, we can do that. Begin to walk your way back up. Lean back. Straighten your right leg out to the right. Keep your left knee bent. Bring your left hand behind you. It's a little bit out to the left. And then you may need a little bend in your right knee to get into this. Press yourself up onto your left knee, your left hand, and your right foot, and stretch up and back with the arm. If the ground is far away here, my arms are a little bit short for this, a block will help. And then if it feels good to stretch or lean the arm around a little bit, you can explore that. Twisting and turning the spine. Settle yourself back in. And change the cross of your legs. Left ankle crossed in front of the right knee. Arms reach up. And twist to your left first this time. Arms up. Side bend right. Arms up. Twist left. Arms up. Side bend right. If you're getting a little mixed up, it doesn't matter, just move. Last time, arms up, twist left, arms up, side bend right. Lift up, bow forward. Stay here or move a little bit within the forward fold. Last few breaths here. Walk your hands back in. Kick your left leg out to the left. Block if you want it under your right hand. Press into your foot, knee, and hand. And I needed to angle my foot back a little bit to make that work, so you might too. And then we're stretching up and over. Or maybe there's a little back bend, and you can explore any movement you want with the spine, or with the arm, or with the hips. And then take your time, settle back into your seat. Let's take both legs just a little bit wide now. And shift weight side to side. Maybe throughout the course of our practice today, you found yourself getting a little more comfortable with the idea of movement like this. If it's still feeling like some things a little stiff or a little rusty, that's okay. We get to work with ourselves as we are, and there are times in our lives where our body is going to feel stiff or achy, and that's not abnormal. That doesn't mean we can't still move, that we can't still find fluidity within that. Either continue to stay upright, you might lean side to side or circle if that feels good, or maybe now we start to lean forward into Upavishta Konasana, your wide-legged forward fold. As with everything else, it's not about how far we go or what it looks like, it's about how it feels to you. What your experience is within this. And stay for just a few breaths. Take your time to walk your hands back in. Bring your legs back together. And make your way to lie down on your mat. Step your feet a little wide and bend your knees. Just a little more movement before rest. Drop the knees left and right. Windshield wipers in a natural, easy way. The next time that your knees go to the right, let's pause there and just hang out for a few breaths. If you'd like to make it into more of a twist by stacking the knees or making any adjustment you want to, please feel free. Knees back to the sky and feet stay wide to begin. Drop the knees over to the left, or any adjustment you want to make for yourself to make this feel right for you today. When you're ready, come back to center. Arrange your body in whatever shape is going to feel right for you to rest today. Give yourself so much space. Give yourself all the space you need in order to really spread out. And gently move your head side to side. Find a little ease in the neck. Move your jaw side to side. Find a little ease around the face and throat. Shrug your shoulder blades up and down a time or two until they find a good place to settle and rest. And then the arms, roll them in and out too. Roll the legs in and out a few times. Maybe you shake or jiggle out the thighs, the knees, and the feet. And then feel the body settling into your mat. Feel the back of the head, the backs of the hips, the feet, and the arms. If you can feel the pulse of your blood within you, feel that. If you cannot feel your pulse, feel your breath. Feel yourself dropping into a rhythm that's maybe a little more restful. These last few moments as you rest and breathe here. Is there any natural or intuitive wisdom that's arising for you? Anything that you learned today about your body, yourself, who and how you are? Anything you want to remember? When you feel ready to begin to wake up, you could draw the knees toward you. Or see if there's something your body's looking for, some kind of movement. Rock a little side to side. And then roll over to whatever side feels good. And we'll come back up to the seat. Practice of yoga asana, the yoga postures, helps us to connect to our experience of being inside our body. It helps us to learn again where we are in space, to understand the relationships between our limbs and our torso. It increases these skills of awareness with our body so that we can feel more fluid. Also helps us to sense how we're feeling inside, where we may be a little stuck or stiff. And then these things translate really well off the mat into the rest of our lives as well. If there was any intuitive wisdom that arose for you today, something you learned, whether it's about your body or a thought you had about something else in your life, I want to encourage you to take a moment and write that down. If we can imprint that a little bit, it helps us to absorb and work with it better as we move off the mat and on with the rest of our day. If you like now, we can bring the hands back to the heart. Maybe the chin bows toward the chest. Acknowledge your body and the work that it did for you today. Acknowledge your powerful, intuitive wisdom that resides within you, that tells you when things are good or not good for you in the moment. Acknowledge your brave spirit that lets you try different things even when you feel a little nervous or uncomfortable about them. And finally, your loving heart that always wants to take care of you, keep you safe, keep you happy, and to care for the others in your life that matter so much. We'll just take one full breath in and out here. And then it's time to move on with whatever comes next in your day. Thank you so much for practicing with me. I look forward to seeing you again soon. Please be well.